Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the live stream from Michigan every Saturday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll talk about Bitcoin. We'll talk about the news. We'll talk about the altcoins. I'm going to move some crypto around for you guys. And of course, as usual, I'll try to get to all of your questions and maybe we'll do some troubleshooting and solve some problems here live. So let's get this party started. Whoops. How about that? Hey guys, so welcome everybody. I'm here with the rig. We got everything set up tonight. Looks like I've got the mic going as well. So welcome. It's been a rough week for all the markets. So we're going to talk about that. We'll dive into it a little bit. But mainly what I want to show you guys how to do is manage your crypto in your own self-custodial wallets. Or I'm sorry, we call these non-custodial. Custodial is when someone else handles it for you. Non-custodial is when you do it yourself. So that's what I'm all about. The market's down, but if you're just dollar cost averaging and buying on a regular basis, then it shouldn't bother you really, especially if you're a long-term hodler. And if you're a day trader, I guess you're ready to make some sick gains sometime soon. So we'll see. Anyway, let's go over to this window here. Let me get set up. I laughed a little at the beginning because Amsterdam, Holland, I asked him what his first name was, and he said Amsterdam. That's just an interesting name. I mean, if you don't, I understand if you don't want to reveal your real first name. I get that. I'm kind of the same way when it comes to things I don't. I'm kind of that way with everything. Of course, I run this YouTube channel, so my name is out there pretty much. You know, my phone number's out there. My email is really easy to find, but a lot of people have dug up my phone number somehow. And my address is somewhere in all of my video catalogs because I've had a few people write me letters. But Amsterdam, I'll call you Amsterdam. That's good. Greetings from everyone. We're trying out a new thing that JDO suggested, which is subscribers only in the chat window. Anybody can watch, but if you want to comment in the chat window, then you should be a subscriber. I'm assuming most of the people that join me every week are already subscribers, but we're trying to cut down on spammers, and we're kind of hoping that having the subscriber only thing turned on will at least deter the spammers a bit. We'll see, right? I was kind of like, well, I mean, if a spammer wants to become a subscriber long enough to post some spam, they can, but I guess it's the bots we're trying to avoid. Anyway, let's go ahead and pop out chat. We'll move this over here to the other side so I can see it and you can't. We got that going. Let me get this thing in front here. That's great. Happy birthday. Happy Saturday. Happy birthday. Happy Saturday. Okay, so it looks like Ledger has updated and they fixed the Cosmos Atom issue with the Cosmos Atom accounts in Ledger Live. We'll go ahead and take a look at that and just confirm that and everything. I'm pretty sure I updated Ledger Live this week at some point, so I'm running the latest version. Okay, so welcome everybody, and Buddy Love is here tonight. Thank you. That's great. And keep losing my wallets is the handle. ISO coins to accumulate. I don't really, I don't do as much research into new coins as I should. I tend to sort of focus on maintaining wallets with your mainstream coins. But, new coins are hard to predict. and they have their own tokenomics and market conditions that can be a little tricky for beginners. I tend to focus on the beginners. First of all, if you want to get in on the ground floor, I believe generally there's a barrier, a monetary barrier. There's some kind of minimum to get in before the blockchain actually goes live. So not for the faint of heart. And then once a new coin does hit, it generally is not on the big exchanges. It'll probably hit on the more sketchier exchanges, I should say, or on dexes like Uniswap or SushiSwap or something like that, or Binance Smart Chain, depending on the blockchain. And new coins have their own. Like when they first come out, if they're just debuting and you jump in right away, you might catch them at a high. And then, within an hour or so, it goes back down again because all the ISO people are selling them. So I generally don't kind of focus on that kind of stuff. Crypto Lark is a great resource for that kind of stuff. If you are aware of Crypto Lark, I really like Crypto Lark's channel, and let me just Crypto Lark. If you watch his channel, he's got a lot of great market stuff about crypto and Bitcoin, and stuff you should get, heads up for investment. And then if you subscribe to his newsletter, there is a whole section on coins that are just coming to market, and airdrops and DeFi and all kinds of. If you're into the investment stuff, I'm not trying to scare you away from my channel, but if you are more into the investment side, I would highly recommend Crypto Lark. But if you want to know how to manage your crypto and you're having trouble with your wallets and you're getting stuck, you transferred, you don't know what to do, you're terrified, to transfer crypto from one place to another, that's me. I'm here to help you guys. I'm here to make sense of it all. I'm here to stay calm when things get dicey and help you out of a jam if that's where you're at, right? I cannot retrieve coins that you've sent to the wrong address. Those are for scammers generally, right? If anybody claims to be able to retrieve coins you sent to the wrong address, they're trying to scam you, right? They're playing on your sense of hope and desperation, right? When you send $5,000 worth of crypto to the wrong place, you're freaking out. You'll do just about anything to get it back. And some guy that tells you he wants $1,000 up front might fool you because you figure, well, if I pay him $1,000 up front and get my $5,000 back, I'll be okay in the long run. But that dude's just going to keep your $1,000, and then you'll be out $6,000 instead of $5,000. All right. I'm not talking about Lark. I'm talking about the people that claim to be able to retrieve crypto. So, like I said, Lark's a great channel. You should check him out if you're into the investment side. Let's jump into the news real quick. Let's see. We've got our market wrap right now. Crypto sell-off stabilizes. I don't know about that too much because if we look at the current price of Bitcoin brought to you by Crypto.com, we can see here that crypto has now sunk below the 36,000 mark per Bitcoin, right? We were pretty much, when I woke up this morning, we were still like hanging on to 36, but over the course of the last several hours, we've dipped down. I don't know, I guess this happened maybe an hour or two ago when we lost 36, and we've been kind of bouncing around pretty volatile between like 35.2 and 35.6, right? 35,600 and 35,200. So right now I see 35,383 on Crypto.com. Great cryptocurrency platform for your phone, an app where you can trade cryptos, you can buy and sell, you can deposit and withdraw cryptos. It's like just any exchange. You can buy and then move it to your own wallet easily. You can stake on Crypto.com, and they also have their uh, Crypto.com metal Visa cards, which you can use to spend your crypto in the real world. I like them quite a bit. As you can see, I've got some balance loaded up on my card that I can spend whenever I need it. And you can also see there that I just got my Spotify and Netflix. They were paid by the card. And then if you go over to my CRO account, you can see that I got my Spotify rebate, and you should see my, pardon me. I don't see my Netflix rebate, but it's in there somewhere, right? Which is really, what I really like about the Netflix rebate is that whenever I have my card entered, my my Visa card, my Crypto.com Visa card number is entered in my Netflix account, so that every month when the Netflix comes due, it just auto debits off my Crypto.com card, and I get that 100% rebate. And what I really like about that is whenever they say, Netflix is jacking your price, and I go, well, I don't care. My Netflix is basically free because I get 100% rebate in CRO whenever I pay it. So can't complain, right? Pretty cool stuff. Let's see, where were we? We were looking at the current price of Bitcoin, and we were talking about the market, which in this article says that it's kind of stabilized, but we don't know for sure, right? But it did over the last, when this article was written earlier today, over the last 24 hours from there, Bitcoin had pretty much stabilized after its sell-off on Friday. There was quite a bloodbath on Friday in the entire market. So, it's hard to kind of pin it down to Bitcoin when we talked last week about the correlation of Bitcoin and the market being so strong now. Bitcoin is being treated as a risk-on asset, or a risk asset, I guess. I don't know if risk-on means risk or on or off. I guess risk-on would be a risk asset, right? But anyway, we're looking at Bitcoin on this channel and myself as a emergent technology, a decentralized form of money, a hedge against inflation. We'll talk a little bit about that in one of these news stories, an opinion piece that I've got for you guys. But as it stands now, most of the people that are invested in Bitcoin are looking at it as a risk asset, right? They're taking the cream or the profit in their portfolio and dropping a little into Bitcoin. And so when things get hairy, when the market starts to crash, margin calls come in, people get scared, one of the first things they'll do is sell their crypto because that's their top, right? The monopoly money on the top of their portfolio. And that's kind of where we're at, right? But just because everyone else is treating Bitcoin that way does not mean that we have to see Bitcoin that way. But anyway, if you want to know more about the current state of the crypto market and some of the other top coins besides Bitcoin, we can check. You can check this article. I've got all these articles linked down below in the description of this video. So if you check the description, we've got our little itinerary, what we're going to do tonight. We've got some coins I've most recently bought, maybe not this week. And then we've got all my affiliate partners that you can check out if you're interested in any of that stuff. And then down a little further, we've got the market stories that I'm covering tonight. Right, so let's see. We'll move on from this. This is another market story. Someone is blowing up. Bitcoin sees 2022 volume record amid hopes capitulation is over. So the opinion of this person that the article is referring to, I can't see his name here. Jason, I guess, Sundial Capital Research, feels like, this says it feels like capitulation, right? And it's bad, right? But the only problem is it's impossible to call the bottom of a market, right? It's impossible to call the top, right? If you could do that, why would you be, among the schleps playing around in the market. You'd be rich and on an island somewhere if you could call tops and bottoms with precision, right? With unerring precision. What would you be doing helping the rest of us, right? You'd be out there enjoying yourself. Whenever you see people like on CNBC talking about the market, I remember back in 2000, I used to watch CNBC all the time, and I was watching all these guys tell me which stocks are hot, which stocks are not, what should I do with my money, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like glued to the TV every morning at like 4 a.m., what should I get into? What should I get out of, right? And this was the stock market back in the early 2000s, late 1990s, early 2000s. Well, I don't know. I lost my butt in the stock market back in those days. And got out of it, right? And then, I don't know, about 10, maybe 15 years later, I'm flipping through channels, and I hit CNBC, Morning Joe, and I'm looking, it's the same guys, right? Like a little older, but same old guys and gals talking about stocks. And I'm like, if you're so smart about stocks, then why are you still schlepping into the studio every morning to do this stuff, right? Shouldn't you be rich on an island somewhere by now? Right. So take everything you hear with all these analysts with a grain of salt, right? But anyway, he feels like this could be capitulation, but I don't know. I think the stock market is way overvalued. It's been that way for quite some time. Most of the stocks are, artificially held up by stock buybacks and all kinds of market shenanigans. The stock market and the actual companies and the GDP and all that kind of stuff are not really linked the way they should be, like they were back in the day, right? The day, like the 50s and the 60s, maybe the 70s. It's mostly speculation now. This is my opinion. So I think there's still a lot of room for the stock market to go down based on the current valuations, right? If you look at the value of the stock versus the earnings of the company, like those fundamental type of things, I think we're still way askew. So, and that would pull down the crypto with it, right? So I don't know if we've hit capitulation yet or not. It's possible we may have hit some kind of trough and we might see some upside next week or not, right? So, but keep a close eye on the stock market because it's going to drag down the cryptos with it. Unless you're just a hodler like me, just hang on for dear life. Now, some good news, right? Gucci to accept crypto payments in their retail stores. They just announced this. They didn't give a whole lot of details about how they're going to do it. If it's going to be through BitPay or some other third-party processing service. As you may know or not know, with BitPay, if a company uses BitPay at their point of sale, when someone pays with Bitcoin, it gets immediately converted into the currency of choice, right? Immediately, and goes onto their books that way, right? They don't hold the crypto. But as far as this announcement goes, it's still not clear whether Gucci is going to convert using a third-party payment processor right away, or if they're simply going to hold the crypto. It sort of sounds like they are, because I don't know if the same article I read earlier, but one thing that I found interesting was, and I guess it's not in this article, I read several articles about this. I don't see it in this article, but what I read in a different article about this was that if a customer wants a refund, then they will be refunded in the crypto that they paid with. So if they pay like 0.01 Bitcoin for a watch or some real expensive piece of jewelry or a handbag or whatever, and they want a refund, then they'll get back 0.01 Bitcoin, right? So, or 0.05, whatever I said, right? They'll get back the Bitcoin that they spent even if the price of Bitcoin has gone down or up. That's what I read in a different source, right? So if they're doing that, then it sort of sounds like they're going to hang on to the crypto, right? And why wouldn't they, right? They got plenty of money anyway. So why not, just hold on to the crypto if people are paying in crypto, all right? This could be big, right? It's good news for crypto. So that's good news, right? And then I've got this other article, which is good news for crypto and for people that are believers in crypto. And basically the opinion piece here is, will inflation create a political vacuum, right? It talks a lot about inflation, right? Now, the important thing about markets and economies and consumer confidence and all that kind of stuff is that it relies on trust in the system, right? So if you don't trust banks, then you're not going to put your money in a bank. And if you're worried about banks, you're going to go pull your money out of banks. And if you're worried about the markets, then you're going to go pull your money out of the markets, right? So if the majority of people lose faith in the system, then that could be bad for the economy and it could be bad for the markets, right? And inflation is kind of the key element here, because inflation affects everyone, right? Not just people playing in the market, right? The people with, investments in the market or investments in crypto or whatever, right? Those are, I would call like I don't want to say higher functioning, but I would say people that of higher means. Well, let's just put it that way, right? They've got money to invest. Whereas a normal Joe or Jane is just living their day-to-day lives, and they're getting paid from their job or multiple jobs or whatever they're doing, their gigs, to get money. And so they're not really worried that much about stocks, right? They may hear about the stock market and hear stuff like, oh, the stock market's up, and then think, oh, well, that's good news. That means that things are going good, right, in the economy and whatever. But inflation hits them, right? Inflation matters to them. And there's a little thing here. Let's see, where is it? Uncertainty, right? So the question for a normal person that doesn't have a bunch of investments, right? Do I buy a new car now in case it's more expensive in the future, right? Or should I worry about my job security given all the talk of imminent recession, right? So we got the dreaded stagflation. Inflation, I guess, if you want to put it in a nutshell, is things get more expensive. That's very simplistic view. Stagflation is where we've got inflation plus unemployment, right? So we've got a double whammy, right? So then you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? I want to buy a new car. I'm worried that the price will go up due to inflation. So should I buy it now? Or should I not buy a new car because I might lose my job, because of the recession coming in, right? So we've got a normal person is worrying about this stuff, right? So if inflation gets bad and a recession hits, we've got a lot of people that are going to be losing faith in the system, and this could be good for Bitcoin because they will not trust the dollar so much and maybe trust Bitcoin more, right? There's another argument to that, and that's about Bitcoin is kind of, it's pure digital. It's hard for a lot of people to wrap their head around, so it might suffer as well when people start to lose faith in the system. If you're losing faith in the system and the banks there's bank runs and things are crashing and things are getting really dicey out there, Bitcoin will be dicey too, right? Because maybe the internet goes down, or you can't pay your internet bill, and stuff like that, where the power goes out. We have power brownouts, we have water shortages, all that kind of stuff. Bitcoin may not thrive in that environment, but it might, right? But in general, the article is about inflation. So if inflation keeps getting worse and everything else kind of stays the same, right? The system survives, right? It's amazing what societies and cultures and systems can endure, right? I always read, back in World War I and how people in Germany were starving. And it's sort of like, there's all this war and there's devastation, but people sort of just like get through it, handle it, right? Okay, Izzy Raider, my bad karma this week, bought Luna just to convert it on Terra Station UST and stake in the middle of the transaction. BTC crashed, Luna crashed. I waited for a comeback, did not happen, crashed even more. I waited some more, and of course it crashed more. Now I'm in deep shit, but have no choice except to wait it out to come back or capitulate. Just wanted to share this with you so you can feel a bit better. Cheers. Yeah. That's kind of, you mentioned that. You mentioned you're like, okay, I'm trying to get into UST. And so in order to do that, you needed to buy some Luna, you need to get it converted and moved into Terra Station and then swapped over for some UST. Well, if you watch my channel, you'll see that I do that kind of stuff a lot. And I probably, if that were my intention, I probably could have had it done within, 15 minutes, right? Between the time I purchased the Luna and the time that I had it swapped over to UST, right? I'm not sure what your situation was. You might have said, oh, I'll buy it now and then I got to go to work. And then when I get home, I'll move it into the wallet and whatever. And then you got on the behind the eight ball on your purchase of Luna, right? Because yes, Luna did crash, right? So I cover that kind of stuff. We're going to, and somebody asked me in one of my comments earlier in the week, how do you cash out UST? So we're going to kind of go backwards a little bit, just to kind of demo. But yes, if you're moving crypto around and you're dealing with Luna and UST, you're kind of on your own, right? You got to figure out how to get your hands on Luna, and then from there, put it in your wallet, and then from there, get it over somewhere where you can swap it into UST and stablecoin, right? To weather these market downturns, right? Now you can actually buy native UST on Kucoin, right? Kucoin is a great cryptocurrency exchange based in the Seychelles Islands. And you can't, well, actually, I believe you can now use your credit card to purchase Tether on Kucoin, right? And then from there, you can trade. Where are the boats here? There's boats. Okay, there's my 2FA. I'm just going to get in here real quick. So I think I'm done with the news, right? Let me just get logged into this. 598391. Right. But there's a bit of a learning curve and there's a bit of a process to KuCoin, at least the way I use it, because you need to, fund your account with some kind of crypto, whether it's BTC or Sol or ETH or whatever. I don't use my credit card to purchase UST on here. So I got to move some crypto and then trade, and then from there, make my withdrawal, right? But if you're proficient, you can do that within, a half an hour, depending on the situation. You might be waiting a while for a transfer. That's usually the biggest time-consuming element of any of these, processes, is you're waiting for something that you've transferred to, actually show up and be spendable. But if you purchase UST on KuCoin, you can withdraw it on the Terra network. Whoops. See, that happens to me every time, right? There, we can use the Terra Luna network to transfer the UST that we buy on KuCoin or trade for on KuCoin. All right, and okay, so read this article. It's linked down below. You can check it out. But the upshot is, if the normal Joe, and I was talking about, should I buy a car now, or should I wait, in case I might lose my job or whatever. I think it'll be more severe than that, right? It'll be like, should I go shopping for groceries, right? Or fill up my gas tank, right? Because both of them are really expensive right now. And, what am I going to do? The prices keep going up. Should I, fill up the gas tank for the week right now? Because gas went up in Michigan, right? Gas was about $3.99 last week, and now it's like $4.39. So, you fill up your tank or buy some food. But either way, you're starting to get PO'd and who else are you going to blame, right? You got to blame the current admin, right? So most people blame the president, even though the president really isn't responsible for all the intricacies of the market. But yeah, the price of gas goes up. Biden comes under heat, right? So and the system, it becomes, people start to question the system when inflation gets out of control, right? Inflation's bad. Recessions are bad, right? You thought COVID was bad. Just wait till inflation starts rearing its ugly head. You don't remember that back in the 80s, right? That's why Carter was a one-term president, because inflation was so bad during his administration. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Ooh, here we are. Almost down below. If we can hang on to 35, we might be happy, right? I'll just quit eating. That's great. Just quit eating. That's good. Hey, Dan is here. JDO is here. Great. JDO, I'm sorry, Dan and Daniel, right? You guys are both named Dan. But they're both, the moderators are here, and JDO, I did do the subscribers only thing. Seems like it's okay for the moment, right? I also linked this article down below. Crypto's greatest weakness: blind signing explained. I have been trying to wrap my head around the clear signing technology of Ledger, and I'm pretty sure they make it sound like the Ledger Nano S Plus is like, if you want to use clear signing, go out and buy a Ledger Nano S Plus. But it looks to me like it is implemented within Ledger Live, so your Ledger, all of the Ledger devices support clear signing now. I could be wrong, but we'll check on that, right? Now, you may not understand what I'm talking about here, but there's this thing when you're interacting with smart contracts. Usually, we're usually doing it on a DEX through MetaMask, where there's a setting in your Ledger device in the Ethereum app that is called blind signing. And basically, it allows a transaction to go through without being able to see all of the details, right? Because for whatever reason, the smart contract can't provide those details properly, because they're all like in code or whatever. It's not readable to an English, it's not in clear stated English terms. It's mostly code. And then the device doesn't have the capacity to display all of this information properly, right? So there's this thing, we call it blind signing. We turn it on so the transaction will go through. Because if you don't, then all of this information of like a swap or whatever is, the device can't authorize it, right? So we have to enable blind signing. So Ledger is kind of coming out with this new paradigm and saying, oh, okay, well, don't enable blind signing unless you have to. And we've got, we have this new thing called clear signing. And I'm assuming that it's just, there's a little more information that is being displayed on the device, than there was before, and certain things don't need blind signing when maybe they used to. I'm a little not too sure. It's sort of like, a company comes out with some new thing and they say, "Oh, this is the greatest thing," but they're not clear on all the details, and you don't know if it's. We'll see. But anyway, this is a pretty good article. It explains what blind signing is. It explains why it's bad. It explains how scammers can use it to scam you out of your crypto. And it kind of explains what a clear signing transaction will look like, right? So I'll play around with it a little bit. I've got some NFTs we can just move back and forth. Ethereum fees are fairly low today, I noticed. So I don't mind moving some NFTs around, and I'll show you my device and we'll see what's happening, right? All right, so hello. Let's jump in and let's play with some stuff. It's interesting. I'm going to do the Trezor first, but I have this cable that is connected to the back of the computer, and it's long enough for me to be able to, comfortably, show you what I'm doing. It's long, and it's a USB-C cable. And interestingly enough, I've got all three of these devices: the Ledger Nano X, the Ledger Nano S Plus, and the Trezor Model T are all USB-C compatible devices now, right? They all have USB-C connectors, right? Let's see here. Right, we got a USB-C connector on the Plus, we got a USB-C connector on the X, and we got a USB-C connector on the Trezor. That's kind of cool, right? All right, so I want to move some crypto into, we'll start with the Trezor. I wanted to just sort of give you kind of a feel for managing our devices, right? I got the device connected. I've already entered my PIN earlier. It might ask me to do it again, but I'm going to go ahead and turn on the camera so you can kind of see what's going on. Let's get zoomed in here, and let's get this thing. There we go. We'll get that, and then I'll just kind of move this down just a tad so it's a little more like the device, right? Okay, good. All right, let's I'm going to try to get a little further away here so it's okay. So you can kind of see the whole device. This is more squarish than the Trezor. It's really taking up a lot of screen real estate too. But anyway, let's go ahead and launch Trezor Suite, which is their software for managing your Trezor. And there is a new version of Trezor Suite out. I'm going to go ahead and run the update. I've got a pretty good internet connection, so it's not going to take too long. Enable labeling just means that I have changed the name of one of my accounts. All right, it's going to ask me to restart Trezor Suite. Oh, I guess it's going to reinstall. We'll go ahead and let that happen. Now, people have asked me, "Oh, I'm afraid to update my software. I'm going to lose my crypto," or something like that. Don't be afraid to keep your software up to date, please. If you have your 24 or 12 word recovery phrase written down and stored in a safe place, then you have nothing to worry about. All right, so we got we got the software updated. It's telling me the device is in an incorrect state, so I'm going to disconnect and reconnect. See if maybe we can get that handled, right? First order of business, things glitch out, go ahead and disconnect, reconnect. Easiest bit of troubleshooting you'll ever run across, right? I'm going to go ahead and enter my PIN here. It's a little tricky on this guy, but I will do it. All right. Oops. All right, we got the PIN entered. Everything's good. All right, so there we go. Okay, it's going to ask me to enable this labeling. So I'm going to do that. All right, just tap there. It's kind of cool. The Ledger Model T is a touchscreen, so it's pretty cool. Uh, Unfortunately, Trezor Suite does not support as many cryptos as Ledger Live does, but there are a lot of third-party wallets out there that support the Trezor device. The Trezor, I think, was around before the Ledger. I think the Trezors came out first. In fact, the BIP protocol, the BIP39, was, I believe, proposed by the people at Trezor, right? So they're really involved in Bitcoin and wallets, right? Good company. All right, so beware of phishing. We've talked about don't get scammed. That's a big part of what I talk about is how to stay safe from scammers and phishers. If someone contacts you and claims they're from, I got an email from the power company telling me, please don't just trust someone that tells you they're from the power company. Apparently, there are scammers out there pretending to be from DWP, the power company, or whatever, calling people up and telling them they have to pay their bill right away or they're going to get their electricity turned off. The power company was like, we don't do that. We don't call you and threaten to turn off your power unless you pay immediately. Those are scammers. People are dressing up in power company uniforms and knocking on people's doors and trying to collect, immediately, threatening to shut off power. There are scammers everywhere. So don't just think it's in crypto, right? When times get tough, scammers come out of the woodwork, right? In every way and form. So a crypto scammer would be someone that might DM you on Telegram or WhatsApp or even Twitter and try to, tell you won something or tell you there's a problem with your device and they're from tech support. They have all kinds of guises, right? The main thing to remember about a scam is that they're going to contact you, right? It's very rare that someone from Ledger or Trezor is going to just contact you out of the blue and tell you, hey, your device, is about to, just that's the first rule, right? If someone contacts you, it's probably bad, right? And they're going to try to scare you, tell you that your crypto's at risk, right? So you've got to watch out for that kind of stuff, right? I'm going to close this out now. We can look at our balance here. Now, I wanted to do a withdrawal. I'm going to turn off this camera here for a second of some crypto that we have in Crypto.com. If you remember, last week we bought some Ethereum. So I'm going to go ahead and withdraw that Ethereum. And if we look here in my accounts, you can see that I have some Ethereum here. And we want to withdraw this from Crypto.com over to our Trezor device. Now, with Crypto.com, they have this new policy where if you whitelist a new address, you have to wait 24 hours before you can actually make the withdrawal, right? So I decided that I was going to go ahead and use some addresses that were already whitelisted. So there is, I see, it says Trezor T, and I see that address, and I'm wondering to myself, is that the address, the current address of my Trezor Suite, my Trezor T? Because I have a lot of devices over the time, and I may have wiped it, and so I want to confirm that that is indeed the address of my current Trezor. So we can go over here to Ethereum. There's the account. Let's do a receive. And then let me turn on the camera again so you can see. I want to do show full address. Right? So I see it on my device and I see it on my screen. And then if we look on Crypto.com, that's a match, right? That is the same address that I see in Trezor Suite and on my device. So I can safely withdraw this to my Trezor. Let's go ahead and confirm that. All right. So that's cool. It stays on the screen. But now that we know that we've got the right address, let's just go ahead and do our Crypto.com. I'm going to say yes. withdraw my ETH to my Trezor T. Let's do all of it. So about $100 worth. Let's see, that's too much. Let's see, let's shave a little bit of that off. Is it going to do this or not? Did I put in it's a whitelist address, right? So that should, okay, there. I had to shave a little off, right? Sometimes when you do max, it doesn't calculate it right. All right, there's a 0.005 Ethereum flat fee. I'm pretty sure that's a flat fee. So if we look over here in pricing on ETH, right? I believe, what is that? 0.05? This is 0.005, right? So $13. So it's a little pricey. Yeah, that's a bit pricey, but we're going to go ahead and do it anyway. Right, now I got to go through all this, right? It's going to send me a text. Let's see. I'm going to move this over for a second. It's going to send me a text. It should. Yeah, should. Hopefully soon. Actually, it came in. It just didn't like jump out at me. All right, 578069. 578069. And then we'll go over to our authenticator and grab our Crypto.com Google code. All right, we'll go ahead and paste that in there. We've got them both, right? And then we'll hit continue, and we should get a successful withdrawal from Crypto.com. And so we should see that Ethereum in our Trezor account here shortly. All right. So it's a little tricky to make withdrawals from some exchanges, right? Crypto.com, I don't know if they had some issues with scammers or some regulatory issues, but they tightened up security. So now it's a little bit involved to make withdrawals. And they force you to use two-factor authentication, right? Coinbase, I believe, I don't think Coinbase forces you to use two-factor, but you should, right? So if you're new and two-factor freaks you out or whatever, you could use just your username and password to manage your Coinbase account, but that would be a little risky, right? You want to have as much security as possible, and you need to be comfortable with using the security. Now that little dance that I just went through, they give you, I don't know, was it 60 seconds? They gave you 60 seconds. Sometimes like Binance US or Binance, they only give you 30 seconds. Kucoin is like that. So you kind of have to have all your ducks in a row and stay calm, and get those codes, get them entered, to make your withdrawal, right? But that's for your own protection, right? So let's see. We'll go back here. We should have a zero balance of Ethereum now, 36 cents. And then over in Trezor Suite, we should see some Ethereum coming in shortly. Let's see. We're connected. Let's go back to the dashboard. I'm not sure where the history is. Okay. Here it is. This is it. May 7th, we got our 0.32 ETH. God, they charged me 0.5. No, 0.005, pardon me. Right. So, but we got it, right? It was almost $100. Now it's only worth 84, right? So yeah, what was it that we figured it's going to cost us around $13. So yes, some of the fees can be crushing, right? So if you're dollar cost averaging, you probably wouldn't want to make a withdrawal on every purchase, right? You might want to wait and build up, some, like in the case of Crypto.com and I believe Binance US, it's flat. It's a flat fee. So you might want to just kind of gather up a higher amount before you don't withdraw every purchase, every small purchase, right? All right, but that's Trezor, right? So you saw me update it. You saw me confirm the receiving address on the device and in the software to make sure that what we were withdrawing from Crypto.com was coming to the wallet that we intended, right? You always want to check on both ends to make sure your crypto transactions are going to go through the way you expect, right? All right, let me check what's going on. Also, be careful not to go for free NFT websites that have been airdropped into wallets. They are all scams. I have 3 Christmas tree NFT scams in my Phantom wallet, ATM. Yes, we talked about this a while back. There is it's not a vulnerability. Let's call it. It's a vulnerability in MetaMask, but only in the mobile version of MetaMask. And it's not really, it does not allow an attacker to steal your crypto so much as gain more information about you. By airdropping you NFTs, they can find out your public address. And with that information, they might be able to, launch some kind of social engineering phishing scam on you personally. But that's a long shot, right? And that's why MetaMask wasn't overly concerned about that particular vulnerability. But you hear horror stories, people that find these vulnerabilities make a big deal about it. But yeah, we don't want to. Generally, these scams work by tricking you into revealing your recovery phrase or tricking you into actually doing a transaction on the device, right? That was the blind signing thing that they talked about in this article. They said, okay, so let's see. We were talking about NFTs, and they said, private messages. A recent incident saw scammers posing as OpenSea Tech admins on Discord, right? So it's not OpenSea that's has these vulnerabilities. It's you're in Discord and you're trusting someone that is pretending to be OpenSea Tech support, right? That should throw up a red flag for you right there and then. Right? Someone is contacting you on Discord. Why would they do that, right? OpenSea would most likely contact you through an email, and it wouldn't be like, oh my God, you're about to lose all your crypto. You better listen. You better follow my advice here and authorize this transaction, right? I wouldn't authorize anything on my device on someone else's say so, right? Blind signing or no blind signing, right? But I guess the point of this little thing here is this guy was an experienced collector looking for technical help. Started a conversation about his account, believing he was talking to a service advisor. In the course of the chat, the advisor asked him to approve a transaction, showing no contract details. Right, so it was blind signing. He approved it, but he couldn't really see what was going on. Right, he couldn't see that it was. Okay, so you're transferring all of this to somewhere, well, whatever, right? So, blind signing came into play here because the end user couldn't really see what he was authorizing on his device. But here you have supposedly an experienced collector holding his device and authorizing transactions on the say-so of someone on a Discord chat, right? So I think it had more to do with the vulnerability and the social engineering aspect than it did the blind signing, right? Even with clear signing, if you're going to be influenced by someone in a Discord chat, you might even watch the entire transaction go through with clear signing and still get scammed because you're listening to someone in a Discord chat. Right. And this, I'm going to point this out to you guys here. I think one of the reasons that this happened to this person is that people new to crypto, fairly new to crypto, they expect immediate support, right? I learned from the get-go when I started in crypto, there was no support whatsoever. Any question that I had took, hours of painstaking research on the internet, looking in chat forums and, to find the answer to my question, right? And there's so many people out there that they think something, I don't get it. What am I, I want to move this. I'm not sure of myself. I want support now, right? I want someone on the phone now. I want to pick up my phone and call Ledger and have somebody tell me help me right now, right this second, right? Because I'm like in the market, and this is the kind of attitude that is prime territory for a scammer, right? I need help now. I can't, somebody on the phone, somebody in Discord, somebody on Telegram. I want it. I want support now, right? And so scammers are more than happy to pretend to be that guy that's going to come to your rescue right this second, right? Don't think like that, right? Crypto is something that you need to learn about before you're in a jam, right? That's what my channel is all about. Learn what to do, how to do it, how to move things, what to do when things look dicey. Learn all that in advance and don't wait for that moment where you've got 10 grand on the line in the middle of a transaction and your device is glitching a little bit. And so now you're trying to get someone on the horn now, right? Be it, okay, I can't call somebody, so I'm going to go into Discord and find somebody to help me right now, or Telegram right now, right? There are so many scammers out there because they are playing not only on your sense of fear, greed, impatience, but they're playing on your sense of entitlement, right? I need help now. I want help now, right? I'm a big guy. I'm a big customer. I'm spending lots of money on OpenSea. I want OpenSea tech support to talk to me right now, right? That's going to get you into trouble, dude. Crypto is about responsibility, self-custody. Learn how to do it and don't wait until you're in a bind and you got thousands of dollars on the line and now you need tech support, right? That's the wrong time to be looking for tech support, right? That's one of the way these scammers get you, is people are thinking they have the sense of entitlement that says, I want help, I need help, I should have help right now. Give it to me now. I don't care. Who are you? I don't know. You're supposed to be helping me. Tell me what to do. I'm just going to transfer all my crypto over to this guy because he thinks, he tells me he's from tech support, right? Pitfalls, right? Watch out. All right, what else were we going to do tonight? What else were we going to do? Let's see. Let's go back up here. Manage and maintain Ledger Live. Let's do that NFT transfer, okay? Let's go ahead and launch Ledger Live, right? So we're in Ledger Live, right? The first thing we'll do in Ledger Live is we want to make sure we've got everything up to date software-wise. Always make sure your software is up to date. Let's go ahead and attach let's do our Ledger Nano S Plus first, because that's where the NFT is that I want to transfer. So I'm going to go ahead, same cable that I was using over with the Trezor. We'll go ahead and connect it, right? Let me adjust this thing here. Let's do this. Let's get this thing back to its ledger orientation, right? Give us a little more room to work anyway, right? So I'm going to connect my Ledger Nano S Plus. You'll notice the refresh rate on this thing is kind of weird. Not as good as the Ledger Nano X, right? Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and enter my PIN. I hope I got all this right. Okay, I did. All right, so we've got our Ledger Nano S Plus, right? This is the new one, right? The Ledger Nano S Plus. It's got the same size screen as a Ledger Nano X, although the device is slightly smaller, so the screen looks a little bit smaller. But if you look at the devices real close to each other, you can see that the LED readout screen is the same size, right? So you've got this the screen size of a Ledger Nano X for a lot cheaper. So Ledger Nano S, pretty good buy, but it does not support Bluetooth, has no battery power, right? It always has to be plugged in to a power source and your computer or your laptop, right? So you could, you can go to coffee shop with your laptop and do your crypto stuff with your Ledger Nano S Plus. Easy. But you can't do it on the mobile app, in the back of an Uber, because it doesn't have Bluetooth, right? But anyway, all right, so here we go. I'm going to get into, I can barely read this thing because of this refresh thing. I'm going to go over to the Ethereum. Yeah, there it is. The Ethereum app. I'm going to get in there, right? And we're going to see what this clear signing looks like. Right, so first of all, let's go and check. Oh, I'm sorry. The second thing we'll do after we get our device connected is we'll go to Manager and make sure that everything is up to date. Now, notice it bombed me out of the Ethereum app and told me to allow Ledger Manager. I'll hit both buttons for that. So you should do this every time you connect to Ledger Live, right? So I'm going to move this out of the way for a sec. Right, so our Ledger Nano Plus is up to date, latest firmware. Notice it's got a pretty good capacity, 1.28 megabytes. The Ledger Nano S is like 400 kilobytes, right? It's like that 0.4 megabyte. So Ledger Nano S Plus has a lot more storage, right? So you got the better screen, a lot more storage, for about $20 more. If you're thinking, should I get a Ledger Nano X or a Ledger? I'm sorry, if the decision is between an X, good Lord in heaven, if the decision is between the old S and the new S Plus, go with the S Plus, right? Better, faster, not faster. It's more storage. Right, so, all right, so we're running the latest firmware. We don't have any app updates to worry about, so we're good, right? Boom. First thing we do, check our software, Ledger Nano, our Ledger Live software, our Ledger Live firmware in the manager, and all the apps. Make sure they're all up to date, and then we're good to go. It's good to stay on top of all this, right? Don't wait until you're trying to liquidate your Bitcoin and get it in your wallet, and then you hook up your ledger and you got to update this, you got to update that, and you're freaking out, right? Just keep everything up to date on a regular basis, right? So we're going to go into this account, right? This account here is a Ledger Nano S Plus based Ethereum account, right? You can manage multiple accounts in Ledger Live. They don't all have to be with the same device, right? And as you can see, I've got an NFT in here. This NFT that I bought on Rarible. And if I click here, I can see more about the NFT, right? It's pretty cool. Ledger Live supports NFTs. But let's just say, for whatever reason, I want to send this to my friend or just move it to a different wallet or a different device. We'll use my other device, right? We'll use my Ledger Nano X. We'll move it over to a device controlled by the Ledger Nano X, right? And that would be, let's take a look. Let's go back to accounts. Let's do Ethereum H, right? Let's do Ethereum hidden because it wasn't in there before. Right, so here we go. We got an Ethereum account, right? And we're going to do a receive. But because I'm going to be sending from my Ledger Nano S Plus, I have that connected right now. So I can't verify the address of my Ledger Nano X, right now, unless I disconnect this and reconnect the X and verify the receiving address. And then when I'm done with that, I'll have to disconnect the X and reconnect the S plus to make the transfer. I'm just going to trust Ledger Live to show me the public address of my Ledger Nano X, which is right here. And I've seen this address many times. I know it is the right address, right? So we're done. And let's go over to the Ledger Plus account. Let's go over to this NFT. And let me show you what's going on the device, even though the refresh rate's kind of weird. It wants me to open the Ethereum app now. That was for the address check, right? But anyway, it's open now. Now I want to send this NFT. I'm going to click right here. Let's do a send, right? We're going to use the address of my other wallet, right? That's associated with the other ledger. We can just assume that maybe I'm sending this to a friend or whatever. But I want to demo that clear signing stuff, right? I also, let me just double check here. If we go into settings, you can see that blind signing is not enabled, right? Right? We want to do this without blind signing. So we'll hit continue here. It's going to be a $5 charge. I'm willing to deal with that. We'll hit continue. All right, there's a breakdown of the network fees as we're sending this. Let's take a look at what the device is going to show me. It says application is ready. Okay, there, review transaction. I'm going to use this button, right? It's telling me that it's an NFT transfer. That's good. It's telling me where I'm sending it. I recognize that address. It's telling me the collection name of the thing that I'm sending. That's the address of the NFT, which also I can verify. There's the NFT ID. So I know what I'm sending one NFT from one address to another, right? I can see all of this information. What does that say? Quantity 1, right? I guess that scammer had the guy like authorize his whole collection, which was, he didn't see that because he was doing blind signing. So we're doing clear signing. So it's going to give me all the information that I need without blind signing. There's my Ethereum fees that we decided that were acceptable, right? Our $5. Let's hit both buttons to accept and send this NFT from one place to another. Now, also be aware that this clear signing works on all three devices. I talked about that earlier, but it only works in Ledger Live, right? Now, having said that, there are some third-party apps within Ledger Live that are compatible with this clear signing technology, right? Let's see, let's go. We're status not confirmed at the moment, so we'll just get out of this. This guy should disappear shortly. Let me just turn this off. We'll just give this a minute. Let's let this thing get on its way out. Right? Where is that? Oh, it's still syncing. So I should see another operation down here where it says that I sent this guy out, right? Wherever it is. While that's happening, let me see what's going on over here. What if Black Swan is when every market dumps? Come on, 20 cent XRP. Yeah, we had 20 cent XRP when the SEC first announced their suit, right? I should have bought some XRP when that happened, right? Perfect moment, right? It's a good time to buy. More is there. I'm still syncing, right? This is still taking a long time. Let's go ahead and I'm just going to quit Ledger Live and go back in. Ledger Live sometimes glitches up on me. Let's go ahead and try it. Let's see. All right, let's go back over here. Let's see what happened over there. It's still showing that that's there, but we just sent it out, right? How long is that going to take? I did one earlier and it didn't take very long. I'm not sure why this one's taking so long. We did authorize it, so it should be going out shortly. We'll just kind of keep an eye on that one. We did that, withdrew some ETH. We cash out Bitcoin. How do we cash out? I know a lot of people, they're kind of worried about Bitcoin right now. They want to know how to liquidate when they've got it in their wallet. What do they do, right? So the main thing to remember is that you basically just calmly, coolly transfer it back to an exchange where you can sell it for cash, right? That's the long and short of it. So in the case of, say, Coinbase Pro, oops, let's go here. You would get, you would make a deposit to your exchange. I'm not going to do this. I still haven't looked at that yet. So we can go over to portfolio and hit deposit. And tell it we want to put Bitcoin in. And it will give us an address. Right? So we send Bitcoin from our wallet to the exchange. I know the whole deposit withdrawal thing is like, it's hard to wrap your head around it when it's just you, when it's your wallet and your exchange. What am I doing? I just want to move. I just want to transfer my Bitcoin. I just want to sell my Bitcoin, right? That's the first thing that comes to mind. You're like, well, how do I do that? It's like, well, you transfer it, right? So you make a deposit on the exchange and you make a withdrawal from your wallet, right? Or a send, right? All the terminology. It could be deposit, withdrawal, or send, receive, right? So in the case of Bitcoin, we can copy this address into our clipboard. Is this ever going to, I guess, did it ever go out? That's really weird. I don't know. I thought that I sent it out. That's really weird. Let's go back to accounts because we're hoping that it was going to come in over here. Oh, there it is. No, that's a different one. Oh, sorry, my bad. Different. It's down here, right? We should see that NFT here shortly, unless I did something wrong, which I don't think I did. I thought that I authorized the outgoing transaction. Thought I did. Yeah, but I still don't see it in Ledger Live. I should have waited and got that, clicked that. Oh, latest operation. Okay, so we got the fees there, right? We paid those fees. Is that the one? Yeah, we paid those out. Oh, wait, that's not even the latest one. Why isn't it showing me that outgoing transaction? I don't know. Did something not go through? That was really weird. Well, maybe it didn't work. I could have sworn I sent it. I could have sworn I got like a confirmation on my device, and then I clicked on something. But I should have clicked that link that showed me the on-chain, the blockchain or Etherscan IO. Oh, there it went. Aha! There we go. There, it came in. All right, so let's go back over to the old account and just kind of take a look at what happened over there, if anything, right? Okay, so there it is. It said the NFT was sent, and the fee was only $3.81, right? So let's go back here and look at our latest operations, right? So we've got, and it's kind of backwards, right? We got the NFT was received, and then it got sent, and then we paid the fees, right? It just it was kind of recursive, right? But yeah, so we moved the NFT from one account to another using that clear signing. You saw on my device that I got very good information about what exactly I was doing, and I did not have to have blind signing enabled to do that, right? That's the clear signing. But it's still, there's a lot of PR and promotion around it, and they make it sound like it's only on the Ledger Nano S Plus. It's supported in Ledger Live, right? So you can use it on an X, you can use it on a, I'm still not sure about the Ledger Nano S, if it has the capacity to give me all of that readout or not. I would assume it does, but I could be wrong about it. But I know for sure that it's supported on the Ledger Nano X, right? So anyway, we did it. Right? We got it. I was kind of getting nervous there for a minute. I was like, why didn't it show up? But now it is. So we got the new Rarible is in this new wallet. It just came in today, a few minutes ago. All right. Oh, and what I wanted to say was, if okay, well, that's all well and good if I just want to move an NFT from one wallet address to another. But what about if I want to do like some swaps on a DEX? Well, it's supported in Paraswap, right? So we can go into Paraswap and we don't need to enable blind signing to do swaps. I'm not sure if you needed to before, right? Because I think Paraswap is an Ethereum-based swap platform, right? And I don't think you needed blind signing to do that, but I could be wrong, right? But anyway, all of these D apps that are in Ledger Live support that clear signing technology, right? So, but I don't see Rarible in here, right? MoonPay, Lido, Ramp, and 1inch. Well, 1inch, that's pretty cool, right? You can that supports blind signing. So I'm not sure if it's going to work when we try to, enter liquidity on 1inch or whatever. Let's see what happens, right? Let's hit continue here. What's going to happen? So we're kind of in 1inch. Yeah, I don't see add liquidity or anything, right? So we're still kind of limited in what we can do, even with this clear signing, right? It's not the answer to, blind signing. It's a narrow solution at the moment, right? But we still need to enable blind signing to do DeFi, right? Especially if we're over on Avalanche or Binance Smart Chain or whatever, we need blind signing enabled, right? If we're using MetaMask and we're trading or staking liquidity pairs, all that kind of stuff still needs blind signing, right? So don't think that this clear signing thing is the answer to blind signing, right? They make it sound like, ooh, you don't need to ever blind sign again. Well, that's not the case, right? But it is an improvement over what there was before. And I guess in that one narrow situation that they pointed out there where the guy got scammed, the clear signing might have prevented him from authorizing that transaction. Although, right, he was already thinking he was getting tech support on Discord, so he was probably too far gone at that point for clear signing to have saved him at that point, right? Okay, so JDO has something here. Part 1, off topic. Before I forget, I had to update some of my Nano X apps on a mirrored wallet. There was the typical blue dot next to manager. I updated that one, closed Ledger Live, and restarted it. After restarting Ledger Live, I plugged in the other Ledger Nano X Ledger Live manager blue dot. Did not determine that the other Ledger Nano X also needed an update to some of the apps. Yeah, I mean, just because they share the same master private key does... I'm not sure if I'm getting this clearly, but let me just say that sometimes when you launch Ledger Live, without a device attached, like you just launch Ledger Live, you'll see a dot down in Manager, which is an indication that there are some updates, right? Either there's a new version of the firmware is out, or there are like some apps that it knows the accounts you've got, right? So you've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, and like Bitcoin and Solana have updates, and so there's a dot there, right? But I don't know how much it knows about all your devices, right? You say you had you got a mirrored, two mirrored X's, right? In general, you don't see that dot until you connect your device and go into Manager, right? Now you may like for example, if there's no dot here now, and I connect a mirrored X that does not have the latest version of the apps that are on that device, then the dot will probably appear, right? I think what you're saying is maybe you plugged in the other device and it didn't tell you that it needed updates. I'm not quite sure about that. But generally, if you, like when you plug in that mirror device and you don't see the dot, and then you go into Manager, it's still, once you get into Manager, even though the dot wasn't there, it'll still show that you like need an update to the apps, right? But the dot may not show up while you're like in the account interface, right? It may not warn you that, hey, the device you just attached needs an update, maybe. And the reason why I'm thinking, JDO, is because you already updated the, Mirror 1, right? Mirror 2, when you connect Mirror 2, Ledger sees the same device, right? Or Ledger Live. Ledger Live will see the same device because they share the same master private key. So Ledger Live might be confused and think it's the same device you had connected just a minute ago, and it doesn't give you the dot, right? But it should give you the update when you get into Manager on the mirrored device. If it does not, and you are certain that there was an update for Bitcoin and Ethereum app, you could manually do it if it's not giving you any update information. You could do it yourself manually. But I'm thinking that even a mirrored device that it doesn't give you the dot, it should give you the update when you get into Manager. I could be wrong about that. But if it doesn't, then you could delete the app. You go over here. Let's say that the Mirror 1 updated Avalanche and Mirror 2 still shows you're running an old version of the app for whatever reason. Like Ledger Live just dropped the ball completely. And it sees the app and doesn't know it needs to be updated. You can always do it yourself, right? You can just delete the app and then reinstall it. And when you reinstall, it'll be the latest version. That's your worst case scenario. But like I said, I think when you connect the mirror device, if it has not been fully updated, you can do it just by entering into the Manager, even though there may not be a dot alert there to tell you that you need it, right? It might down the road, right? It might maybe after you launch and relaunch Ledger Live and you connect the mirrored device, then it might do that check again and go, oh, wait a minute, you need to update it. There'll be a dot there. But if you just updated Mirror 1 and then disconnected Mirror 1 and connected Mirror 2, it might think it's the same device if you haven't launched or relaunched Ledger Live. Yes, it did show there was an update needed once I was in Manager. I wonder if it would be the same for firmware updates. Yeah, I'm thinking, and the dot is there to sort of get your attention. But as I mentioned, I tend to, if I haven't been in Ledger Live for a few days or a week or whatever, I'll go into the manager. I'll launch Ledger Live. I just tend to go into manager as force of habit, whether there's a dot there or not, right? It's always good practice to just go in there and just double check. So that would be the solution. The dot should have been there, but I think Ledger Live just got confused because it was a mirror, right? But if it had been a completely different device that was not a mirror, like if I, attached my old Ledger Nano S and there was an update to the Ethereum app, it would probably show me the dot right away as soon as I attach the new device. Let's see. So we talked about clear signing and what clear signing is all about. I was gonna do a little bit with Monero just to kind of shoot the breeze with you guys. Monero, of course, is a privacy coin, right? So we have some Monero on our Ledger Nano X. I'm going to disconnect the Ledger Nano S. Oh, by the way, the Ledger Nano S, I think we figured this out last week. I don't believe it is supported by the Monero app yet, right? Because when I went to set up as new, it was not listed as a compatible device in the Monero wallet. I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and connect the Ledger Nano X and enter my PIN. And we'll go over to Anchor protocol here in a minute. I don't know if I'm up for this or not, but I'm going to try Anchor protocol. Okay, so we're in. Let's see. Oh, okay, so we're gonna play around with Monero just a tad. So let me show you here. I'm gonna get, this is like, there we go. Okay, so it's asking me to allow Ledger Manager because I just happen to still be in Manager when I disconnected and reconnected the new device, right? So we don't know if there's gonna be a dot, right? But if there's any app updates, they would be here. But no, because I just connected this device earlier today and made sure everything was up to date. So we're good there. But I showed you that we do have Monero, the Monero app installed. I'm going to get out of Manager so it won't interfere with what I'm doing here. Let's go over to Monero, if I can find it. There. All right. So we'll go into the Monero app. Now, we can't manage Monero in Ledger Live, right? You cannot add a Monero account, right? It is not supported in Ledger Live. You have to use a third-party app. But that's not a bad thing, all right? So I launched my Monero wallet software, which is a desktop-based application, and it told me, oh, there's a new version available, right? So that's my first order of business. I'm going to hit download. Once you have the Monero wallet installed and verified, like I talked about verification tools like GPG signatures and all that kind of stuff, and hashes and all that. Once you get your wallet installed, you don't have to go through that whenever there's an update, because it just does it within the app, right? It says update downloaded signature verified, right? So it is a verified copy or verified genuine version of the latest Monero wallet, right? So I'll go ahead and save it. It wants me, it's gonna ask me to run it, right? So let's just exit. I don't know about an inline update, but I'm just gonna uninstall it. I'm sorry, I'm just going to turn it off and run the install, right? And maybe you can watch my, woo, what was that? Is it going to let me do that? See See, this is what happens with Monero. I don't know if I can get we can get through all this or not. Okay, threat removed. Setup. Okay, so my virus protection did not like that app, right? And I think it might have removed it. They deleted the file. Okay, so let's take a look here. Bastards. Okay, let's do this. It looks like it's still there. Let's see what happens here. Huh. Okay. Maybe I should have done it. Okay, there it did it again. All right. All right, let's see. Let's try to launch the Monero app again. Here, let's do this. I've already whitelisted it, but right. Let's see what happens when we do this. Okay, let's save. Okay, we did that. Let's replace it. There it is. Will it allow me? I guess it won't. Right. I'm going to need to, I can disable this. Pause protection. Okay. We'll pause it for 10 seconds and see if we can run this install. All right, we'll go ahead and do this. Okay. Okay. I accept. Yes. Next. Oh, see, well, I have to like exit this. All right, so we'll try that again. See how the world is against Monero, man. Even software does not like it. All right. Okay, that's that. Okay. Let's go back here to Monero and let's see what happens when we launch it. Did it work? Oh, okay, here. Okay, cool. 17.32, that should be our latest version. All right, let's hit continue. We're going to choose simple mode. It's not as secure, but I don't want to have to wait for the entire blockchain to sync up on my machine. Although I've done it before, I haven't done it like in a week or two, so it would take too long. Right? So we'll use simple mode. I understand. It might not be as private. But next. We're going to open wallet from file because we already created this wallet a couple weeks back, or maybe it was just last week. Right, I'm in the Monero app. Right, let's open wallet from file. We're using the Ledger Nano X new. I need to enter the password. All right, before I hit enter, I'm going to show you what happens on the device. Right, it says export view key, so I'm going to do that. We'll hit both buttons. There we go. And we should see it sync here shortly. Give it a minute. Wallet is connecting. And if you guys remember, I forget how much we bought. It was like 0.2 Monero that we bought a week ago, last week. Is it last week? All right. I've done some Monero videos. There's been some it's 0.37, right? And now it's going to sync up a little more. I've done some Monero videos, and I get a lot of like people that they'll say stuff like, "Don't you realize that you bought it with Bitcoin and they can trace the Bitcoin to you?" And I get that, right? It's really hard to do anything anonymously on the internet, no matter what it is, right? Try creating an anonymous email, right? Try creating just an email address without giving any identifying information. Just try it, right? I'm sure you've had your Gmail for years, right? But go on to Google and try to create a brand new Gmail account without giving up any information about yourself. You can't, right? They will ask you for a phone number. And then in order to verify, in order to create a new Gmail address, they send you a code to your phone number, right? In order to create a brand new Gmail address, you have to give up your phone number. So they know it's you, right? They can link you to your phone number. So try creating an anonymous email. Almost impossible, right? All right. So you want to, I said the video that I had was how to buy Monero sort of anonymously, right? Well, on a DEX, right? And I don't know if that DEX is even out anymore, but I logged in. I was using a VPN, I believe, but I used Bitcoin to buy it, right? And then the comment was, "Oh, well, that's somebody can link that Bitcoin to you." Well, yeah, they can, and they might be able to figure out that I spent that Bitcoin at some point. Maybe they can figure out I spent it on a DEX somewhere, right? And then they may, let's say it's the NSA, they may figure out that I used it to buy Monero, right? Oh, so now you've got Monero that's not anonymous anymore. Well, yeah, I do, because they can't trace the Monero. They might be able to, haul me into court and say, "We know you bought some Monero," and you're like, "Okay, where is it?" Right? They can't trace the Monero once you buy it, right? The Monero, they don't know what wallet I put it into, right? Unless they hold a gun to my head or threaten to throw me in jail and say, "Show me the Monero that you bought." Well, how are they going to know if I'm lying or not, right? It's like, well, I spent it. Or I don't know where it is. I forgot, right? You can do that about anything in court, right? Don't you remember, when they put Ronald Reagan on the stand about Iran-Contra? I can't do Reagan, right? I don't recall, right? Okay, he forgot, right? Did you authorize, Oliver, what was that guy's name? Not Oliver Stone. Lieutenant Oliver North to, send money to the Contras in Nicaragua? I don't recall that meeting, right? So, I don't remember where that Monero went. Anyway, right? So Monero is untraceable, right? I can put it in my own wallet. I can use Bitcoin that I bought, but to trace Bitcoin that I spent on Monero is quite a feat, right? So if you want to buy some Monero, don't overthink it, right? I bought mine on Kucoin. I'm sorry. I bought mine on Kraken. Do I care? Right? The government comes, "Well, you bought some Monero on Kraken." I'm like, well, okay. Yes, I did. And then I used it to buy something, and now it's gone. What'd you buy? Well, I don't know. I don't remember. I did something. Somebody wanted some Monero, so I sent it to them. It's always fun, right? But, you just go down this rabbit hole about, how to trace transactions. But just because I'm buying it with my Bitcoin doesn't mean I shouldn't buy Monero, because somebody might be able to trace my Bitcoin somewhere. Once it turns into Monero, it's untraceable. That's the point, right? Even if someone knows you have it. Anyway, we're going to do some... Yeah. If I remember correctly, many computers see Monero almost as if it were a virus. Warning bells everywhere. Yes, they do. Right. That's one of the tricks to dealing with the Monero self-custody, is that the Monero wallet is treated as malware, by Windows Defender, by most major virus protection software. It's treated as malware. So you have to, be smart, right? Know what you're doing. Now, once the Monero wallet got installed, I've already whitelisted the Monero address, right? There's an address, the folder that's on my computer. So all I had to do was get past that just about 10 minutes ago, right? It said it didn't like the installer, right? It was like, no, I'm not going to let you use this installer. It's bad. Bad installer. Bad. All right? I had to disable my virus protection for 10 minutes just to run the installer. But I downloaded it from within the Monero wallet, and I knew that it was legit, right? So I knew that it was legit, but my virus protection didn't. So you kind of have to, trust your own instincts in those types of situations. Anyway, we got some Monero. We can manage it in a wallet, and the private key is safe and sound on my Ledger device. Good stuff, right? Okay, so let's go ahead. I just move it out of the way. We're going to talk about, and I think protection should be, we can just enable it. We can just turn it back on if we want. All right. We were going to talk about Anchor Protocol. All right, let's go over to Anchor. Let's see. Let's go here. Okay. Wants me. Okay. All right. So let's switch back to Terra for a moment, right? So if you remember, we're using Terra, and this is what someone was asking about earlier. They said, oh, I wanted to buy some Terra, and actually what he wanted to do was put some UST off to the side because the market was dropping, right? And so he's trying to, make his purchase, and the market is tanking. And so he got stuck, right? Well, what I would have done, right, is I know I can do this within 30 minutes, right? I'm not going to sweat 30 minutes worth of tanking. Maybe I would. I don't know, right? But between the time he bought the Luna and before he could swap it into UST, the price of Luna tanked on him. And so he didn't want to bite the bullet and take that loss right away. Ideally, you would want to do this when Luna was stable or on the upswing, right? Because, okay, if I spend $5,000 and I buy, $5,000 worth of Luna, and the price of Luna is stable or on the upswing, then I can, move it over here into Terra Station and swap it for UST. And then my UST is stable, right? But, you might, in his situation, right, he was like, oh, the price of Luna was tanking, so I didn't want to swap to UST because I'm going to wait for Luna to come back up to the price I bought it at so I won't take a loss, right? Well, the other thing could happen too. He buys Luna, he wants to swap it for UST, and then he sees that the market is on the upswing, and now he's afraid to put it into UST because he might lose gains on his upside on his Luna that's on the upswing, right? So you gotta make that decision somewhere, right? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna play the market, or are you gonna buy some stable coin, right? When you choose to buy the stable coin, could be on a bad market day, or it could be on a good market day, right? But if you're gonna buy UST, and you got 20 minutes in between when you buy the Luna and when you swap it, you're not going to lose your shirt. You might lose $100, right? But at least you have your UST. What if when he bought it, Luna was like, I don't know, Luna right now is 69. Well, what if he bought the Luna when it was 90? And then he was afraid to swap the UST because it had dropped from 90 to 85, right? And then he didn't want to take that hit. Well, now Luna is 69, and he's deeper in the hole than he was if he'd have just swapped it for his UST right away, or taken that $100 or $1,000 hit or whatever it was. He'd be in pretty good shape now, because now he's got a bunch of UST that has weathered the storm, right? So you can see that I have 32 UST here right now, but I also have UST in Anchor Protocol, right? Let's take a look at it. Let's get this out of the way. So if we go to the earn, you can see there that I've got $5,345 in UST. Now, I believe it was, how much are we earning per week? We're earning 18 UST per week, right, at this rate. That's not bad, right? That's more than, that's $18 plus every week. And if this were Luna, then it would have dropped precipitously in value. If I had $5,000 worth of Luna last week, and then I looked at it again this week, then that Luna would be worth a lot less, right? Right? So Luna can swing. And yeah, that's a good point, Mickey. Luna tends to recover quickly. It had, historically over the last, several months, whenever we have a downswing, Luna tends to, recover a little faster than the others, right? Just depends on the situation. All right. So where I don't know where he bought his Luna. Well, the gentleman that was speaking earlier may have bought it over, and let's take a look over at Binance US, because you can't buy UST on here. You can buy wrapped Luna, but that is the ERC 20 version of Luna, which needs to be converted if you want to buy UST over on Terra Station, right? So it's not the best plan to buy wrapped Luna on Ledger. I'm sorry, on Coinbase or Coinbase Pro. You can buy it on Coinbase too. Oops. I guess he signed in. I thought I was already signed in. Again? I'm already signed in? Oh, well. That's okay. Boopity. Yeah. No. Not now. Whatever. I just want to get in my account. Aren't they going to be asking me that? Yeah, I don't like to turn it on for 30 days either, because I want to use two-factor every time I log in. Anyway, let's say we want to buy wrapped Luna, right? $42. What is a $42? Okay, yeah. So we can buy it over here too. But this is not the preferred way to buy Luna, right? Because we got to convert it, and that costs us Ethereum fees. So let's check. Oh, and you can't buy it on Binance US either. What was the one that Binance US was? It wasn't Luna. It was something else. Oh, what was that? Doggone it. See, now I can't remember. There was something that you could buy on. Oh, UST. That's right. They were supposedly they have UST, right? Terra US dollar. Now this is not bad, right? Unfortunately, if you go to withdraw it, it's ERC UST. Now, if you keep it here on Binance US, it will stay stable, right? But you can't, I don't know that you can stake it on Binance US. You might be able to. I would prefer to stake it in my own wallet in Terra, right? So if I buy it here, then I'm going to have to convert it to native UST in order to stake it in Anchor. But look, now I can withdraw it on Binance Smart Chain. And I know Binance Smart Chain has cheaper fees if I want to convert it, right? So what do we have any right now? Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Nothing in my wallet. All right, so let's see. We got $24 worth of BNB. Yeah, slim pickings. But anyway, let's try. Like, I don't think I can buy UST with... No, I can't. I'm going to have to sell that BNB. We'll do it, just for the heck of it. All right, so we're going to trade our BNB for US dollar. We're going to sell it at market, and we'll sell it all. All right, and then we'll go back here, and we should have some US dollar in our account now. All right, not as much as I wanted, but what the heck. All right, so now we can buy our UST. All righty, and let's trade for US dollar. At market, let's buy as much as we can. That's 22. All right, now we can go back to our wallet, and we've got $22 worth of UST. And we can withdraw it in Binance Smart Chain format. So, yeah, it's going to be kind of tricky. Let's see. Let's do this real quick. Terra Bridge. Let's see what we can do with Terra Bridge. We had this problem before, but like, if we can go from Binance US, okay, yeah, we can switch. Okay, so what am I doing here? All right, so we're on Binance Smart Chain. We've got this crypto wallet here, and I would like to move some UST over to the real Terra, right? So let's grab this address, and let's go ahead and do this withdrawal. We're only playing with like 20 bucks, so I'm not that worried about it. Let's do a withdrawal. Whoops. Let's do our withdrawal. And instead of ERC20, let's do Binance Smart Chain. Right, there's that address. Let's do it all. I'm going to... Oh, man, come on. That's a bummer. Had to be at least 50. Ah, you bastards. See, I didn't really want to have to do it this way. Okay. All right. What do we have? Let's do 30. From our bank. All right. We need UST, right? Okay. All right. So we're going to do 30. Okay, there we go. From our bank. We'll buy it. Okay. Now the question is, they're going to let me withdraw it right away, I wonder. Okay. All right. Did I or did I not just buy that? That's probably pending, right? Ah, okay, there it is, 51. All right, so now let's see if they'll let me withdraw it now that I just bought it, right? We still have that address in our clipboard. Yep. Let's do it all, but I'm going to shave these decimals off. For some reason, it doesn't like those decimals very much. And we're going to do it to Binance Smart Chain. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Okay. They're going to charge me 1. Okay. Let's do that. That's good. Boom. Okay. Now I got to like check my email and go through all this. Jump through these hoops. Confirm my withdrawal. Okay, good. So the question is, am I going to see it in my MetaMask wallet? I'm going to need to import it, right? So, it might take a minute. So, Binance Smart Chain. UST. Wrapped UST. Okay, that's what they call it. Let's copy that contract address. Let's go back here and import the token. And what happened? Hey, it's there. What do you know? Apparently there was a little bit in there already. Huh. It doesn't even show that coming in. Unless there was 68 in there already, which I don't think so. Okay. All right. I wish I could see the history. Oh, I can do it. I can do it this way. Let's just copy that address into our clipboard. Let's go here and just look at the wallet address. Right? And we should see there. A minute ago, I got 50.9 wrapped UST from Binance US, right? So that's it. It's in there. Now we need to get it over to Terra Station, if we can, right? So we got Terra Bridge here. I think, yeah, I remember I had this problem before. Yeah, it doesn't see it. I don't know why. It does not see it. Yeah. We had this problem before. But there's more than one way to skin a cat, right? Let's try Spooky Swap. I think I can do it in Spooky. I got to go over here to Phantom. All right, we're going to use their bridge. I don't know if I can do it here either. What was it? What are we looking for? Terra. No, they don't have Terra. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I can get this over there, to be honest with you guys. No, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, that's a bummer. There's probably other ways to do it. Let's see what else we got here. Multi-chain? Let's try multi-chain and see if that helps. Okay, so we need to connect to our wallet. We'll do our MetaMask. We'll do that one. Yeah. Okay. All right, so let's see. We want to do from Binance Smart Chain. Okay, yes. Whew. Ah. Oh, well. Yeah, not easy, right? I don't even see it. We had that contract address, though. At one point. I don't think that's going to work. Nah. All right. I guess I can't. Bummer. Right? And even if I could, it doesn't have Terra here. Right? So we're still kind of screwed. I can't really get that UST over to... but what we should have done was just used Osmosis. But Osmosis, I don't think Osmosis works with Binance Smart Chain. So we're still kind of, we could have easily bought TerraUSD on Osmosis, which would work really easy. And so instead of buying UST on Binance US, I could have bought Atom, right? And Atom is compatible. I can withdraw my Atom directly over, like from Binance US into Kepler, and then from there buy UST. That would have been the best way to do that. Hello, help! Ledger won't connect to the computer. Hi, Shelly. We did this last week, right? What do you mean it won't connect to the computer? What do you mean by that? You mean it tells you that your device isn't connected, or when you try to send crypto, it says that something went wrong, right? What are you getting? Are you getting, let's see here. Let's try this one. We'll do this one first. We can do this, right? Let's just disconnect and see what it says. There's two error message. One says, oh, it's not connected. Okay, that's the easiest one to fix. So there's a lot of things you can do if it's telling you your device is not connected. One is disconnect, reconnect. I did that earlier, right? Disconnect, reconnect, see if it works. If that doesn't work, try a reboot. Disconnect, reconnect. After a reboot, see if it's recognize your device. If it's still not telling you it's not connected, then try a different USB port on your computer if you have more than one USB port on your computer, right? If that doesn't work, then maybe you could try a different cable, right? The cable that comes with the Ledger device is just a regular USB cable. It has a Ledger logo on it and everything, but there's nothing unique about it. You can buy a different USB cable from Amazon and just make sure it's compatible with your Ledger device. If it's a Ledger Nano X, then it's a USB-C cable, right? You can get a USB-C cable on Amazon and try a different cable. Right here. That's a USB-C cable. You can get one of those on Amazon. Try that. It works. Right? That's if Ledger Live is telling you your device is not connected, right? If it's a Mac, yeah, sometimes Macs can be a little finicky. Maybe try to connect like a flash drive to your Mac and make sure it mounts up like it goes bloop, right? And then like eject it and then try your Ledger after that. Sometimes Macs get a little funky when you connect devices, right? Sometimes you might have computer issues, right? Your OS might, your computer might be flaky, so it's not recognizing any USB devices, right? You plug in a flash drive, it doesn't see it, right? And if that's the case, then you might need to, take it down to Best Buy and have them, run some clean, do some fine tuning on the computer, right? If it's working fine in every other respect and it's just not recognizing the Ledger, then maybe just kind of troubleshoot. But sometimes, it's the cable, right? Also, you could take that Ledger device and try and connect it to a different computer and see if it works over there, if it like if it shows up on your desktop or whatever, you see it like as a device. I don't know if it actually shows up in Device Manager or not, but you could try it on a different computer and see if it works over there, right? Like maybe install Ledger Live on a different computer and connect your device and see if it works over there. Then you know there's probably some maintenance that needs to be done on your go-to machine for whatever, right? I'm just brainstorming, right? But sometimes people are trying to use the Ledger on a machine that clearly has problems to begin with, right? They've got an old version of Windows, or they're still running Windows XP or Windows 7, and they're having issues with Ledger. I'll say this outright: this Ledger does not support Ledger Live does not support Windows 7. It might work, but they don't support it, right? So ideally, you should be on a computer running the latest version of Windows, and you should your Windows should be in tip-top condition with all the updates. And if you have a 7-year-old machine, it might need some work, right? Like maybe a new hard drive, and a clean copy of, they can clone your old hard drive into onto a new hard drive, and that fixes a lot of issues with computers, right? Sometimes, after 5 years, your performance is degraded considerably. Just saying, right? I don't know your situation. Windows 10. Good job, Shelly. That's right. That's good. There's no update that needs to happen? The Ledger worked before. You might check to see if you're running the latest version of Ledger Live, but that generally is not. If it was working last week and now there's a new version of Ledger Live, that doesn't usually cause connection issues, right? You can still be running last week's version of Ledger Live and it should still connect, right? But if you go over here to settings and to about, you can see the version you're running. If it's not the latest version and it's not telling you it needs to be updated, then you can you can just quit Ledger Live and run over to ledger.com and just I don't know if there's Ledger. Yeah, just download the latest version manually. Just go over here and download it. Download the latest version, run the install, and that should update your version to the latest version. Maybe you're running you haven't updated Ledger Live in 6 months or whatever. But generally, a problem that just randomly appears, if everything was working fine yesterday and now all of a sudden it's not working, is generally a hardware issue when that happens. A cable, a glitchy USB connection, something like that. That's hardware kind of stuff, generally, if something just suddenly starts happening. A software issue or, I wasn't very successful on that one, was I? I think I'll play around with Anchor next week, but we've already tried to buy UST over on Binance US, and both times we got screwed. We never were able to get it over where it needed to be. I'll have to do some more research. I'm not really sure why Terra Bridge was not working for me when we let's get this out of the way. Yeah, I was a little disappointed with, multi-chain doesn't support Terra, right? Wormhole. Okay, it's Wormhole. I think Wormhole. Let's do crypto. What kind of wormhole was I talking about, by the way? Was it a galactic wormhole? All right, so here, okay, something didn't like that. Oh, it doesn't like my Monero wallet. I'm just going to go ahead and close it right now. Even my malware protection doesn't like it either. It doesn't like it when it connects to another Monero node, right? Let's see. Let's do apps. What happened? I thought there was like one. Okay. It's not Lido. Atlas Dex cross chain? Huh. Okay. What did this thing say? It said... Huh. Anchor. Poop-a-doo-pa-doo. Oh, okay. I was over here. Terra Bridge. So yeah, it says wormhole and shuttle, which has subtle, it's depreciated. Right, so wormhole, so it's connected to my MetaMask wallet, but it does not, okay, let's see this, BSC? Oh, there it is. Aha! What do you know? All right, so, I see Terra, BSC. Don't ask me how that happened. Okay, but I want to go to Terra, right? All right, so let's just do 60. Let's do 50. Destination address, I want my Terra Station wallet. All right, let's copy that in here. I don't know what happened. All right, let's paste that in. Right, where our target is our Terra wallet. All right, let's hit next. Okay, they're not going to charge me any UST. It's going to my Terra address. Let's hit confirm. We're probably going to need to do something in MetaMask, right? Okay, outgoing wrapped contract. They're charging me a small amount of BNB. I don't mind at all, right? Much cheaper than we would have over in Ethereum. And let's see. Hey, boom, confirmed. Yay. Well, that was fun. I don't know how that, it wasn't showing up in the beginning, but I clicked that BSC thing and boom, there it was. Isn't that amazing? All right, let's do this. Let's refresh here. We should see some here, unless, it doesn't see it as native UST, it sees it as something else. Okay, so it doesn't see it quite yet. Let's take a look over here in MetaMask. It clearly went out. We have less here. We just don't see it in Terra. Well, it's it's not gonna just magically appear. Where was it? Terra Bridge. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we got a transaction ID here. Let's take a look at that. Says it was successful from here to there. Okay. Oh, it doesn't have the Terra address because this is just what happened over on the Binance Smart Chain, right? But we still don't see it over here. Not yet. I might have to look for it. Sometimes it's like destination, but it should have shown up there. Transferring UST from Binance Smart Chain Network to Terra Network. Transaction will be submitted via MetaMask. Okay. And that's our transaction hash. Or it may have just disappeared completely. Or we just need to be patient. We'll see. I'm running a little over tonight. I don't know if it's going to show up or not. I've had that happen to me, and then what I had to do was kind of poke around, and then I found out, like, we were doing a transfer before. It was there, but it wasn't showing up as UST. It was showing up as some kind of funky contract. But, like, I don't even see it in history yet. So we might just have to be patient. What's the address? If the address is wrong, can you get a refund? If I screwed it up, no. Right? But I know I put in the right address. Right? I'm not worried about that. But what possibly happened is that it showed up in this wallet, but as not as UST, but as something else. Right? Like, it's like a funky UST that is like not, like maybe this. But not even that. I mean, I had it once where it was just some funky contract that said it was sort of UST, but it wasn't. And then, oh wait, no wait, that's not. Oh, 1 minute ago. Okay, there, boom. There, boom, got it. Like I said, there's no refund, right? There's nobody to call. Like, hey, dude, can you give me a refund? Like, you have to figure it out on your own, right? Although there have been, like when I was doing Binance Bridge back before they disabled it, whatever, I was able to like take the contract address like this transaction ID, and submit it to their tech support and say, hey, I did this cross-chain transfer. Here's my transaction ID, but I don't see it on the other end, right? And then Binance US, or not, I'm sorry, Binance Bridge, like kicked it back to me after that. Although most of the time, like with a Binance Bridge transaction that failed, it would kick back to the original address. So I've never had that experience with Terra Bridge, and I've never tried to get in contact with them. As you can see, there's no link here for tech support, but there's probably somewhere, somehow, you could submit a support ticket with your transaction ID and a short explanation of what you were trying to do, and somebody will help you, right? It usually, but if it fails to, do that cross-chain transfer, sometimes it'll kick back to the original address like in 24 to 48 hours without doing anything, right? But we got it in Terra Station. So, that one took me a little while, right? It would have been easier to do it over an osmosis, like swap it for Atom. We could have bought UST for Atom real easy over in osmosis, and then transferred this TerraUSD right over without doing a conversion, right? Osmosis is kind of the bridge, right? So I could have very easily bought Atom on Coinbase, Coinbase Pro, or Binance US, and dropped it into my Kepler wallet, right? I could have dropped Atom into my Kepler wallet and then, put it in osmosis and swap for UST, easy peasy. And that would have probably taken me like 5 minutes. Right? But the point is that Binance US is like selling UST, right? So it should be like viable UST. They should have native UST withdrawals, right? You should be able to withdraw UST over to the Terra network like you can on Kucoin, right? Why can't I do the Luna or Terra Luna network on Binance US? They should support it, but they don't, right? So they made me jump through all those hoops to get it converted. I had to use Terra Bridge, but I did it, right? And the Terra Bridge conversion was cheap. Remember, it was like 0.0000 BNB, right? Anyway. But you can understand phone support's version of English. Yeah, most of the time when you call tech support, even if it's a U.S. company, you're talking to somebody in the Philippines or in India. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that they really don't have the power to do much if things go wrong, right? They can sort of walk you through stuff and maybe elevate it if it, you know, like if they determine that there's a real issue of some kind. I'm just talking about normal tech support, right? Like Amazon tech support or whatever, or IBM tech support. Just getting somebody on the phone is not always going to solve your problem anyway, right? They might tell you that it's not going to, they can't do anything about it. Anyway, you got to take responsibility when you're going to get into crypto, and it can be trying at times, but it's worth it, right? So why don't we, like, I'm going to go ahead and sign out, but let's go ahead and take that 50 and drop it into Anchor Protocol while we're here. Right, let's go over to the Earn program. Let's do a deposit. And there's 81 UST. Let's go ahead and put that 50 in there. Let's hit proceed. And then I got to verify this on my device because this wallet is connected to my ledger. So let's get into the Terra app. Ah! I think I had it disconnected. Let me just get that handled. All right, so we'll get out Monero. We're done with that. Let's go over to the Terra app. If I can find it. Is that it? No. Oh, I see it up there. Right, that's Terra. Let's hit this. We're in Terra, right? This wallet is connected to my ledger device, so I need to authorize the transactions. I'm making a deposit into a smart contract. This is Terra, so there's no... See how it looks kind of weird anyway? Even if I'm getting all the information, it doesn't mean a lot to me. Although this part does, right? There's my fee, my 25-cent fee. Let's hit both buttons. Off it goes, right? And then we should have like 50, almost 5,400 in UST. Right, 53.95. We just socked away another $50 worth of UST into here. All right, wasn't too bad. Oh my gosh, I was kind of sweating it out there for a minute. All right, guys, it's been great. Thanks for joining. Seemed like the subscribers only thing worked out pretty well. Don't forget, we do this every Saturday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join me again for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon.